This video will demonstrate the rclone functionality of Scribe. We will start with one source cluster and then create two destination clusters. Local cluster is the default name of the ACM cluster. The cluster has OCS as the storage class and is considered our Scribe replication source. A cluster will be deployed on AWS. This location will be a replication destination receiving data from ACM. The default storage class on this cluster is GP2 CSI. A metal cluster will be imported. This cluster will be a replication destination receiving data from the ACM cluster. The default storage class on this cluster is host path. The ACM cluster will manage application placement and be the source for our storage replication. Going to the ACM console, let's look at the ACM hub. A sample of our cluster has the labels of storage OCS and site headquarters. This will be used to make determinations on the volume snapshot class to use and whether to land the source or the destination application objects. We have deployed the ACM configurations for Scribe and our DocuWiki application. Here we will see the DocuWiki application running on our source cluster. We will now deploy the Scribe rclone source and destination ACM configurations. This will land our replication source and destination objects according to the site and storage labels. We will now add a destination cluster on AWS. The cluster is created with site remote and storage GP2 label. The cluster is deployed and ACM will handle the deployment of the application while Scribe will populate the data. The message on our destination site matches our source site. Now we will import a metal cluster. The cluster is too small for OCS, so we will use host path storage. We set the labels site remote and storage is host path. Our application will begin to deploy, and similar to the other clusters, Scribe will load the persistent data. Opening the browser, we will see the same hello message on our metal cluster. A sample of our replication objects is shown here, along with clusters and their differing storage classes. Replication occurs on a schedule and depending on the copy method chosen. Data will be either immediately written to a PVC or into a volume snapshot to be converted to a PVC by ACM when ready. Now back at our source, let's change the message to Hello World. In the background, the deployment will be modified to use a new PVC name. To demonstrate a situation such as OpenShift being on a plane, the West2 cluster will be unavailable to ACM but still operational. Our metal cluster has been updated with the new message. Now that our West2 cluster came back into connectivity, Scribe and ACM will remediate the data. This concludes our demonstration of Scribe and ACM.